It's From the Hardwood with BFTS.
I just
All
want
right, then we have
the Knicks, baby.
the New York Knicks versus the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA Finals starting tomorrow night. This series is going to be extremely compelling for so many different reasons, and we're going to break down just who we think is going to have the advantages, who we think is going to have a standout series, and ultimately who's going to win the championship this year. So, G Mike, let's go ahead and get this started. Who do you think has the better offense going right now, the New York Knicks or the San Antonio Spurs? Who are you going to give the edge to?
Before I give my answer, I just want to state that ChatGPT be making Wimby look like a Dominican. My boy look at Dominicano ahí, el tigre. Look at him. Crazy.
He's a French Dominican.
Yeah, right. Dude, I think the New York Knicks have a better offense. I think their starting five, they just click on all cylinders. They have been for the last few years when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, right? Throughout this whole playoffs, they found it after game 2, game 3 against the Atlanta Hawks, and they didn't look back. They haven't lost a game in like over a month and a half. They've been going crazy on the offensive end. Their starting five have been scoring 10 plus points every for the last 4 games. I think the whole Eastern Conference Finals series against the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think they all scored 10 plus points on the starting five. They just look like a cohesive unit. They know what they're doing. They run the great pick and roll. Jalen Brunson is a clutch player, and he just goes crazy. Even on the ISOs, he'll kill anybody that's in front of him. OG Anunoby is showing that he's a great two-way player. But on the offensive side, he's staying up in the corner, hitting those 3 balls or driving into the lane and dunking on people. And then Cat, he's being more aggressive, Steve. We've always talked about this, how he goes passive aggressive and he fades away. And now he's being more aggressive. He's playing aggressive now. That's what we like to see. And this is one of the reasons why the New York Knicks got to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, you start hanging out with Timothy Chalamet, all of a sudden you get more aggressive. It's kind of wild.
You got that swag.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go ahead and agree with you on this one as well and say that I think the New York Knicks have the better offense. But on paper, actually, by the season stats, actually, the San Antonio Spurs average 119 points a game as the New York Knicks only average 116 points a game. But that's regular season stats. I think if you've watched any of the playoffs lately, you have to admit that the New York Knicks is just on some sort of absolute tear and heater going right now. So I don't think anybody wants any part of that offense right now. So I will agree with you that we'll go New York Knicks up 1-0 on San Antonio right now. So let's go ahead and go defense. Defense right now, I'm going to have to go just because you got Victor Wembanyama. I'm going to have to go defensively. I'm going to go with San Antonio. Even though the Knicks have been really, really playing some great defense, if not arguably the best defense in the playoffs this entire playoff stretch here. But I think overall, once it's all said and done, whenever we're just in this series, I'm going to have to take San Antonio to give them the edge to even up the 1-1 in my book for defense. What about you?
I got the Spurs as well. I don't think the Knicks have faced a defensive team like this all playoffs. And then especially that Stephon Castle's going to play defense on Jalen Brunson. I think, I'm not going to say you're going to stop Brunson. I don't think anybody can stop Brunson. I think he's too much of a good offensive weapon to actually stop him. He has a great 3 ball. He drives into the lane. He'll do a fadeaway on you if he has to. He'll create his own shot while driving to the lane and trying to get a layup, brush off you, and fade to the right or fade to the left, depending on how he's going to the basket. But Stephon Castle, man, he's a great defender. He'll get up in your face, pause, and he won't let you get any breath of fresh air. Definitely.
So we're going to go ahead and even that out at 1-1-1. If you go by regular season stats, the San Antonio Spurs actually allowed 105 points when the New York Knicks only allowed 100 points. So, again, that's regular season. Now, not saying that the Knicks don't have good defense because they've definitely in this playoff really stepped their defense up and continued on that one as well. So I think that's an interesting aspect to this game here. All right, let's go with the bench. Who do you think has a better bench going right now?
I think the Spurs have a better bench. I like the way that Dylan Harper has been playing, even though Miles McBride on the other side for the New York Knicks, he's been playing pretty good as well. But to me, Dylan Harper just looks like a 4-5 year vet when he's a rookie. Like the intelligence, the way that he plays with patience, he selects his shots, he doesn't rush anything. I think it's just better overall. another guy off of the bench for them too, Luke Cornet. He could do some damage as well with trying to get a lot of rebounds and making some good defensive hustle plays. That you saw one play in Game 7 that was actually, in my opinion, the most crucial moment of that game that
Yep.
switched the whole momentum around and just got the Spurs to go up by like 6-7 with 30 seconds left in the game. So I think their bench is more well put in the sense of the matter.
Yeah, so I like San Antonio's bench. Don't get me wrong at all. Dylan Harper was preseason my rookie of the year pick over my guy Cooper Flagg. Granted, that did not clearly happen, but Dylan Harper has played fantastic. So that was my pick in there. So I got love for San Antonio's bench. But I'm actually going to take the Knicks in this one. I think Mitchell Robinson means a lot, even though I know he's going to have the pinky issue. But I think he's going to be able to still maintain and play through it. He's a tough athlete. But it's also, if you look at how the Spurs play, whenever Wemby goes to the bench and that bench unit comes in, their whole dynamic kind of changes around a lot. So I'm actually going to give the advantage to New York as far as bench play goes in this one because it doesn't seem like they miss a beat if Jalen Brunson goes on the bench or, I just feel like that they're still able to maintain whenever they're starting to make their rotations. And in San Antonio, you can kind of tell, and it's almost like a countdown timer on the scoreboard that how many more minutes down until Wemby can come back in to save the team or something. So they just play so much different whenever Wemby's not out there. So I'm going to actually give the benefit to New York, in my opinion, on this one. So I think that's like some of the biggest issues I think that's going to come up with the teams in there. I think the bench is going to go to New York for me on this one. I go to defense, I'm going to give it to San Antonio. And offense, I'm going to give it back to the Knicks. So having said that, that puts for me some of my key factors, New York Knicks up 2-1, in which that's why I'm also picking the New York Knicks to win this series. I'm actually going to take the Knicks in 6. I think that they're just playing on a heater right now that no one's really seen in many, many years. I think San Antonio will become what everybody thought Oklahoma City was going to be with the dynasty, with Victor, and these guys are just going to gel so much better. So I think that it's just one more year before the San Antonio wins probably for the next 20 years. But I'm actually going to give it to the Knicks. I think that they are hungry. Jalen Brunson is my guy, and I love the cohesive unit that the New York Knicks / Villanova Wildcats are playing with right now. And so I'm going to go ahead and take New York Knicks to win the series in 6.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Spurs. I never really thought any Eastern Conference team was going to be the Spurs or the Oklahoma City Thunder. That defense paralysis in a 7-game series from Victor Wembanyama and Stephon Castle put together is going to be crucial, in my opinion. If De'Aaron Fox can somehow heal his ankles, because he has 2 messed up ankles that he's playing on, and still going out there and showing his force and giving his dominance. He scored 15 points in that Game 7. If he could go out there and lead them in the right direction, I think they could get some good offense paralysis out of him. I think Julian Champagnie, too, I think he could hit a lot of threes, especially at home where the San Antonio Spurs have the home court advantage. So if they go to Game 7, it's going to be on the Spurs court. Like I said, Dylan Harper off the bench is just going to be dynamic for them. He probably won't have a good whole series, but I think he'll have 1 or 2 games that he can be dominant and show that he's going to be the X factor for the Spurs. And then just having Wemby down on the block, rim protecting, it's going to be a whole different ball game. You saw it with Shea. Shea was having a lot of trouble when he would go into the basket and they would have to kick it out, try to find someone with 3. And, Alex Caruso was hitting. Cason Wallace was hitting. But then a lot of other people weren't hitting where, I wanted to allude to this, but this man, Chet, I know we're talking about the Knicks and Spurs right quick. I'm going to do a little sidebar right here. This man, Chet Holmgren, soft, charming.
Yeah,
he's in Walmart. Go to Walmart and you go get some damn toilet paper. They got Chet Holmgren right next to the teddy bear of charming.
They did change his name to Scott for that one-ply toilet paper, bro.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was just wild. I don't know what happened, if he was shell-shocked, what that was. That's unheard of to me. Especially with all the players that they have, and if they got to make some moves, are they keeping him? Because SGA came out and was very, very adamant and very supportive of his teammate. Don't know if that was just because of the moment or what, but do you think because Oklahoma City is in the next year or so, 2 years, going to have to figure some of the stuff out? You can't keep all of these guys unless they're able to work out deals to be able to work to it. But it's very unlikely that they're going to be able to keep all these guys. But do you move Chet after that performance or what? I mean, is he I don't even know what that was.
I don't think after that performance you move him. I think it was just obviously he didn't have a great series. He had a decent series at best. He had a horrible game 7 for sure. But that doesn't paint the whole picture of the series, right? I think not having J Dub was a big difference maker as well. You know, when J Dub's on the court is different. A lot of people will say that the Thunder were better with him not in the lineup during the playoffs and all of that, but that's just because they had to pick it up and they had to play without him and they had to adjust. But J Dub is a dope player for the Oklahoma City Thunder, where a lot of people would say that he is the second best option on that team, where obviously on paper right now, this season, it was Chet Holmgren because he got all NBA. I know that he was thrown in there because there were some players that couldn't get it, like LeBron James, but it was an all NBA player. And I know J Dub has some injuries as well where he didn't play some of the season for sure, where that comes into account. But I think with him on the floor throughout the whole playoffs, throughout that whole 7-game series in the Western Conference Finals, it could have gone a little bit different. Remember, the Spurs only won by 8, and Chet only had 4 points on 2 shots taken. If Chet had 10 points and maybe J-Dub was in there and he had 10 points, Oklahoma wins by 6, 8. So who knows? You know, I don't think they should break it up, but if they do, I think they should go for Giannis. Giannis will be the best player right now to put in front of Victor Wembanyama. Pause. Hand up in his face. He's not going anywhere. He's not going to be doing what he was doing on Chet Holmgren. The only thing is, it might be a rental because next season, not this season, the season after, he will be a free agent. So they have to really convince him to stay in Oklahoma City, where I think he might want to go somewhere else, man, you know, where it's sunny and hot. You know, we got the sand, we got the water, we got the palm trees, you feel me?
Someone should make a song about that. What's that? Where were you talking about? Like, oh, Miami.
You feel me? You feel me?
Yeah. Either way, man, I have to give a shout out to both teams, and that game 7 was awesome. Besides Chet's performance, that whole series was one of the best series seen in a long time. It was traditional good basketball. Say what you want about the fouls. It is what it is. It's the NBA. But I just thought the series was very compelling. Both teams really gave it their all. SGA, I mean, people don't like it. People like it. People don't. I don't know. I personally just feel like it's a product of what's going on in the NBA right now. So you can't get mad at the guy for doing the smart play and baiting the fouls. Don't foul him then. You know, some of the fouls are. It's the rules. It's not him. Now, granted, he does look a little bit different whenever he doesn't get to the free throw line as much. That's a debate for another day. But I don't really fault him. And if you watch his offensive game,
bro, it's an aspect of the game. Bro.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
that's like complaining about the Eagles doing the tush push.
Right. If you can't beat it, then or find a way to beat it, in which they did in Game 6. He didn't look the same at all. They found a way not to foul him, and he was expecting fouls, and he didn't look the same whenever. So, but I just thought that was an awesome series, and it was just good to see a bunch of, and they're all young players. Like both teams are very, very young, and both teams were just giving it what they had. So it was great to see some good basketball. Besides like the rest of the calls, I thought it was a great series. But so I'm going to take
another thing to point out before we go. I haven't seen, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, and you guys who are watching right now, you say it in the chat. I haven't seen Shea complain about the refs, where I've seen many other scoring guards or scoring forwards complain about the refs, where it's like, okay, he's getting all these fouls, but when he doesn't get it, you would think that he'd be like, oh, I should have gotten these calls, like they're fouling me, blah, blah, blah. But he's like, hey, sometimes you're not going to get them. Sometimes you're not going to get the fouls. It is what it is. You got to play better. That's all I hear from him. He doesn't make excuses.
I agree. I agree, and it's refreshing as well to hear him whenever after a loss he's still the same. And I totally agree with you. You don't see him whining ergo Luka on the sideline that he didn't get the foul. He's going right back and playing defense. He doesn't let that stuff get him out of his game. And everybody, you can't not hear all the flopper and all that good stuff, and he still stays in that mindset and still does his game. And like he said too, whenever he had that one bad game, I've worked too hard to get to this point to change my game. I'm not going to change my game. This
exactly.
It works. So respect to Shane's SGA.
That's what I was mentioning before. Just because you have one bad game, it doesn't define you. That's why I'm saying I don't think that they should trade away Chet unless it's going to be for Giannis. That's a whole different conversation. But if you're just asking me to trade him away because of that performance, nah, I don't think so. Because you know what he can do on the defensive side and on the offensive side. Like, he was supposed to be the primary player on that team when they drafted him, but then Shea started going crazy.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. Chet was supposed to be the SGA, if you will, before SGA got there or whatever, So whenever he was still Shea Gildress, you know what I mean? He wasn't SGA at that point, but